notch. Nobody harder than no, think not. Not only citywide, but nationwide. Superlative, keep it locked like them Haitian guys. Put the truth in the airways, we talk about it. Brand new like the templates, let's be about it. Who got the info about it? Hey yo, Jono be the rapper, got them jamming when they play him. Staying in my lane, they ain't gotta okay him. Who the host with the scoop? Yeah, they gon' say him. Ivy, so superlative like a bag of Grippos. Show you where the bricks at, Cincinnati red tag. One time where my people at. Team NI where my people at. It's the 5-1-3, yeah, you know the flow. What's the word, Nate? Let them know the show. One time where my people at. Team NI where my people at.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and I hope you had a great weekend. My name is Nathan Ivy, and it's time to get the show started. Hey, what's up, Jesse? Thank you so much for the like and share, man. I appreciate it. Please take a second, choppers, and like and share today's show. Please like and share today's show so we can get as many people watching and listening as possible. We are on Facebook this morning, and we're live, of course, on the Spreaker Network. On today's show, I want to talk about numerous things. I want to talk about Kanye for president, but not just Kanye, just the whole idea of the presidency and the lack of qualified candidates that we're given, right? Not just as voters, as black voters, as American voters in general. And so when a name like Kanye comes up, people want to dismiss it, but we did the same thing with Donald Trump, and look what happened. Also, the politics of wearing a face mask in public, to me it seems, hey, Tanya, thank you so much. Hey, Brenda, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It really seems to me as if it's a small matter, but there are videos from all over the country of people who are reacting badly, behaving badly because they're being forced, in their opinion, to wear a face mask in public. And also, we just finished the July 4th holiday. You know what that means. That means that in the aftermath, there's all kind of stories of people that injured themselves playing with fireworks. You know how I feel about it. You out here as a grown person playing with fireworks and you blow your arm off or you blow your hand off or you blow your head off. It's Darwinism. It's Darwinism. It's more food, clean water, clean food, and clean air for the rest of us. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Much more to discuss. We'll get the show started in just a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere. Morning, everybody. Welcome back. Live, local, and vocal. It's the Nathan Ivy Show, powered by Sin Digital Media. We believe in the power of black voices. Good morning to you. Broadcasting live from another beautiful Monday morning from the city of my birth. How are you? Hope you had a fabulous weekend, albeit, of course, it was July 4th. I'm not sure if you celebrate July 4th. There's a lot of black people who don't celebrate it. So independence. Independence of what? We still not independent. Still looking for liberation. But good morning to you. Welcome back. Hopefully you are refreshed. Hey, there we are. I am here. Now, let me give you some updates here. I wasn't with you on Friday. Well, let me just give you the details really quickly because I did post that I was in the hospital just overnight, and all is well. It was more precautionary just to make sure. When you go through a cardiac event, as I did back in February, anytime you feel a little bit of anything, your doctors are going to send you to the emergency, or you're going to feel like you have to. So I went to I was feeling a little bit discomfort after doing a workout, and man, I don't know about you, but I hate going to the hospital. Hate it. It's boring. I don't know these people. It's not that it's noisy. It's just too much going on. You can't really rest. The food sucks. You know what I'm saying? I put myself on a very, specific diet. I can't get the kind of nutrients that I'm trying to get to. People are sticking you with needles, asking you a bunch of questions over and over again, waking you up early in the morning. So I went in hoping that right after the show, actually on Thursday, and I was hoping to get a couple of tests and come out straight, but they wanted to keep me overnight because of some dumb itch. You could have seen my face. I wasn't happy at all, but all is well. I feel great. I didn't feel bad then, but it was more of a precautionary thing. So what I tell people is take care of yourself. Don't be like me. Be better than me. Don't be like me. Be better than me in terms of taking care of your body. Prevention means everything, and then you don't have to deal with these kind of episodes. But all is well. What was funny is that I was waiting. So what happened is on Thursday, I was supposed to take a specific test. It's called a stress test. I don't know all the details, but it wasn't available by the time that I wanted to get it taken. So they wanted to keep me overnight for precautionary reasons. So I took it on Friday. Everything looked good. And I was out about 1 p.m. What was interesting is I didn't know what time that they were going to come for me to go take this test. So I was going to do a live broadcast straight from my hospital bed. I was prepared. I was like getting everything ready. And as soon as I did that, they came in. So that's why it was such a last minute notification. I would love to tell you as soon as I knew that, but it just didn't work out that way. So, but all is well. I feel great, and came out and went straight back to what I was doing before, went straight back to a workout and my regular lifestyle. So all is well. The family is good, and it's time to talk. 513-873-7134. If you would like to share your thoughts this morning. I figure I owe you an explanation as to what was going on. So I wanted to make sure I told you that. And I hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great weekend. I'm not sure if you, as I said before, celebrate July 4th. A lot of black folks don't celebrate it. I'm not here to criticize you. I'm not here to judge you. You do you. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. I mean, who's to tell you got to celebrate July 4th? I mean, that's why people say, Nate, you should be a politician. I don't think I can make it because I got to keep it real on too many things. I ain't feeling it, period. You know what I'm saying? But today I want to talk about numerous things, not Kanye West in particular only, but a lot of things that are happening throughout the city. I woke up this morning and went to the Inquirer, and I saw something that really, really caught my attention that I think that we should be talking about, okay? And that is something that in particular will impact black people in the state of Ohio. If you're a black person and you live in the state of Ohio, this impacts you, so stick around for this. Check this out. You see that? More blacks lost income due to COVID-19 crisis. It's a very interesting article. And if you are a subscriber, I would recommend you check it out. Check it out. Double whammy. More than half of black workers in Ohio have lost income because of the coronavirus pandemic. What's that mean? What's that mean? What, moving forward, what exactly does that mean? I've been hearing some really startling statistics about, the percentage of black-owned businesses that are going to be affected by the coronavirus. I mean, just in general, a lot of businesses, especially the restaurant business, all over the greater Cincinnati area, and perhaps the state of Ohio are going to be infected because, people weren't eating. They weren't going out. And if they weren't doing it in the same numbers. This story is written by Randy Tucker, who I don't know, but I think it's worth your time this morning to go and check it out and just kind of catch up as to what's going on. Check this out. About 53% of black households in Ohio have lost employment income since March 13th as a direct result of the coronavirus pandemic. That was the highest share of job-based income loss for any major racial group in the state. About 10 percentage points higher than the share for whites. Why do you think that is? In your opinion? I'd like to get your thoughts about that. 513-873-7134. Also, over the last, really even before the July 4th weekend, but really over the weekend, I saw a lot of these videos. Now, I think it's because I just had time for it. And then these kind of things are being curated. If you're on Instagram, man, if you go on Instagram, type in Darrens and Karens, or just type in Karens. And there are dozens upon dozens of Instagram sites that are curating and cataloging videos of white people going nuts, white people behaving badly. It was quite entertaining, quite honestly. It really was. I spent some time over the weekend just kind of going through a lot of these videos and kind of watching them. I saw one video of a white male, and he got into a big old argument. Looks like he was in like a drugstore or something, right? He got into a huge argument with somebody because he didn't want to wear a mask. Security came over. I mean, it was a scuffle. It was a big deal. It was a big deal. It's some folks out there, man, that for whatever reason, they take it really, really personally when someone asks them to wear a mask. And one of my Facebook friends posted something I thought was just so right on point. He was like, it's a damn shame that the city of Cincinnati has to mandate that people wear a mask when it's in their best interest. When it's in their best interest. That's a bad relationship right there. Like that's a bad scenario. Like when you can't even tell somebody what's best for them without them arguing with you and trying to shout you down, we got problems, homie. We got real problems. I made this observation 10 years ago, maybe 8 years ago, that in the new America, that sneezing without covering your mouth or coughing without covering your mouth in public is tantamount to fighting words. And damn it, if it hasn't come true. You go somewhere and you sneeze on somebody, you may wake up later. It's that real out there right now. I'm telling you, we living in the last days. And you got a significant percentage of the population that don't want to go along with public health. They want to argue about their rights. They want to argue about the Constitution. Many of them don't even understand the Constitution. Never read it before. They're getting their interpretation from Trump or from Fox News. Absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous. Like, it's ridiculous right now. Let me call out Cincinnatians. It is absolutely ridiculous. The city council had to mandate it. It's ridiculous. It's preposterous. But again, you got 30, 40% of the population that wants to do their own thing, even if it costs other people. Like, how difficult is it to get a mask? Speaking of which, shout out to TNT. We got our mask. These are so dope. Tailor-made. Let me check this out. I was over at Whole Foods yesterday, and I was rocking this one, man. You should have seen how white folks was looking at me. For real, I ain't give a damn. Yeah, check that. That's my tailor-made right there. Look at that. Look at that. Thank you, TNT. I appreciate it. It reads, if you can't see, it reads, Justice for George Floyd. I wore this yesterday over at Whole Foods in Rookwood and Norwood, and this white woman just kept looking at me. I just stared at her. She just kept looking at me. I said, yeah, it says Justice for George Floyd. If you don't like it, I don't give a damn. So what? And I love it. She got me, oh man, she got the kids, everybody won. Thank you so much, TNT. Get your tailor-made face mask. Look at this. He even got a Nathan Ivey one. What? Check this out, man. Oh my God. Look, let me check this out. Check this out. Look at that. Sin Digital. And over here, look at that Nathan Ivey. Oh boy. You can't tell me nothing right now. I'm on cloud nine. Check that out. That is super dope. I even got a Black Panther one. This is super dope. The kids got one. The wifey got one. Thank you so much. Tailor Made. Get your face mask from Tailor Made. CT&T. Super dope. I appreciate it. My daughter got one that says Wanted Hills on the side. Hey, Kimberly, thank you so much. Thank you for the likes and shares. Please like and share today's show. I appreciate it. Sister Iris writes, good to see you, dear brother. Thank you. It's good to be seen. Again, I wasn't in any real danger. It was more precautionary. It was really more a suggestion from my cardiologist, more so than it was my own desire. Because who the hell wants to be over at any kind of hospital during COVID-19? I mean, I wasn't like super paranoid or anything. I'm always prepared. Hey, thank you, Mrs. Love Being Black. Hey, Kiana, thank you so much. Please like and share today's show. Your shares and your likes mean everything. Appreciate it in advance. But I'm doing well. I felt great then. I feel great now. Feel no issues. I feel the same. No worries. But that is super dope right there, man. Oh, my gosh. It's great. I like them all. I got the black one right here. I think this is for my son. That's dope. So thank you so much. Get your tailor-made face mask. Appreciate it in advance. Hey, Pat. Hey, thank you, Sister Iris. Appreciate the likes and shares. I can't be everywhere. Okay? I can't see everything. And there's a lot of spaces on Facebook and online I'm just not aware of. So please share this wherever you think people might be into this kind of content. Okay? Broadcasting live in Cincinnati. We talk about Black people, Black politics, Black pleasure. All right? And we talk about things that happen in the greater Cincinnati area that are of importance and beyond. That's my focus. My focus is Cincinnati, then regionally, then nationally, and also culturally. Good morning to you. So I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you got a chance to relax. You didn't necessarily have to, celebrate July 4th. You know what I'm saying? Is July 4th really for white Americans? Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real 100. If you're Black, what are you really celebrating? You tell me. I could be wrong about that. 513-873. Or you're a non-white person, should I say. What are you really celebrating? There's a lot of things going on. But I want to talk about what's happening here first. As I said, double whammy. More than half of Black workers in Ohio have lost income because of the coronavirus pandemic. So what I'm looking for is policies, initiatives in particular that will impact Black workers, Black entrepreneurs, Black business owners. That's what we need. That's what really matters. Okay? That's what's really going to have an impact. Right? That's how I look at it, but you tell me. While Blacks make up just 12.5% of the U.S. population, they account for more than a quarter of all COVID-19 deaths nationwide and are 5 times more likely than whites to have been hospitalized with the disease. What's that all about? What's that all about? You tell me. Again, 513-873-7134. Let me go straight to the choppers. Hey, John, I know you're on the line, brother. Please hold on. I definitely want to take your phone call, but I got to greet the choppers this morning. Got to support the folks that support me. Mason Marler writes, morning, Nate and the choppers, hashtag 2020 vision. Well, good morning to you. Brenda writes, happy Monday. Happy Monday to you, Brenda. Hope you had a great weekend. Pat writes, good morning. Hagatha Christie writes, good morning to the choppers and all the chicken heads from Pasadena to Medina. Well, that's nice. That's nice to see that you didn't leave the chicken heads out. Appreciate that, Hagatha. I know you're excited, bro, because NBA is going to be back. NFL will be back. You can get back to your normal routine. That's right. They'll be back soon in the bubble. Whatever the hell that means. Ray writes, grand risings all. Miss Tiffany writes, good morning all. Tanika's in the house. She writes, good morning, Nate and the choppers. Okay, we switching up the profile pics. Okay, good to see you. Good to see you. Sharp writes, good morning, Nate and the choppers. Hope everyone had a good holiday weekend. Stupid neighbors shooting fireworks near people's homes. Yeah. I live in the Clifton area. And, man, these people was nuts, man. It was like, what the Razzies? Is that the family that would do it down on the river, WEBN or some of the fireworks, something like that? Man, these non-professional, everywhere, everywhere around my house. Like literally, we could see. I was sitting in my son's bedroom watching a fireworks display, literally right outside of his window. Fireworks were going off everywhere around Clifton and Coreyville. I'm like, damn, where they get all this stuff at? Everywhere. And again, I mean, I'm not criticizing you heavily, but I'm about to criticize you lightly. I just don't understand. Like, to me, grown people should grow out of some things. And maybe I'm biased. I've never really been into fireworks like that. Fireworks have never really been my thing. Like, let's go get some fireworks and watch stuff explode. Even when I was younger, I mean, yeah, it was cool to like get fireworks and throw them at my little brother and see him jump around. I mean, that's fun. When you're a teenager, that's fun. You get the fireworks, you throw it at your little brother. It gets caught in his hair or shirt. It explodes. He goes running around screaming and crying. That's fun. As a big brother, I can get some entertainment out of that as a child. But as a grown man, I see grown black people giddy as children because they got fireworks. We're going to Indianapolis. We're going to Indiana to get us some fireworks. Is it that serious for you, man? I don't know. I do know that there was a man in Mount Healthy who died, and I have nothing but respect for, I won't say anything about the dearly departed. I don't have all the details, but in general, my general position about that is Darwinian. It's Darwinism. Survival of the fittest. If you want to blow your arm off, or you want to blow your head off, or you want to blow an eye out, or you want to blow an ear off, go right ahead. Go right ahead. Because that's more clean water, clean air for the rest of us people to have some damn sense. I don't know about you, but if I'm going to get my arm blown off, I'm doing it for the cause. You know what I'm saying? We are war for some real stuff. I'm not out here playing with sparkles. I'm going to hold the sparkle until it burns my hand. It's like some prank. Man, you go on YouTube, you'll see the most ridiculous things that people are doing. I've seen people shoot bottle rockets out of their anus. I've seen people lay down and put the rocket, via video, by the way, put a rocket in their mouth and hold it with their teeth. Their friends light it. Of course, it burns the hell out of their face. Everybody's laughing. I mean, listen, if that's your style, if that's what you like to do, you go right ahead. You go right ahead. You want to blow your arm off? I mean, all over the country is stories about people that did dumb stuff with fireworks. In some cases, it's accidents. But what I would say is, unless you have been properly trained by professionals to really deal with heavy-duty fireworks, leave them alone. Just leave them alone. Like, believe it or not, you can enjoy July 4th without playing with some damn fireworks. Because if you do, I ain't got no sympathy for you. I mean, like I said, when I go to the grocery store, it's one less person in line now. You know what I'm saying? Breathe all that clean, free air. Yes. Thank you. I'll take it. 513-873-7134. I don't mean to come across as callous or mean. Now, I do have sympathy for children. When I read stories about children doing something, I blame the adults. Where is your father? Where is your mama? I read a story about a 16-year-old that held on to some sparklers too long and they burned a hole through his finger. I blame the mama. Not enough supervision. But when I hear about 26-year-olds and 36-year-olds and 46-year-olds and 56-year-olds, I ain't got no sympathy for you. It is what it is. Good morning to you. Roosevelt Rice, good morning. Good to see you, Roosevelt. Tracy Rice, hey, what's up, Tracy? I saw you on Facebook stepping up, hitting your target. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I hope I'm not putting your business out there, Tracy, but Tracy did her CCW. I love it. Please get your CCW because then we can all get together and do some tactical training. And we can step beyond just hitting paper targets in a stationary position. But you can get yourself to be in a position where you're proficient, where you feel comfortable with a firearm in all manners of situations. That's what I would like to do with you. So if you've already got your CCW, great. Stand by. I'll let you know. I love it. Black folks need to be legally strapped. You see the video of the white couple that pulled a weapon out on a black woman and her children in the parking lot? Apparently they got into it over some kind of minor parking, dispute. And the white woman pulled a gun out on her. Now, let me stop right here because, you know, we living in crazy times right there. Like I said, the last days of common sense we're living in. You never know. You could get into a minor fender bender. You can get into a minor argument, and it can escalate to a situation where people dead. It can escalate to a situation where somebody pulls a gun on you. Let me give you a true story. This is a true story that actually happened, okay? Some of you might remember going back maybe 2 weeks, there was a protest outside of the Mayerson Academy that's in the Clifton area. That's the home base of the administrative offices for Cincinnati Public School, all the executives, superintendent, all that kind of stuff. That's where they are. And so folks put together a demonstration on the corner of Burnett and William Howard Taft, right there at that corner. And I went over to it. I actually spoke there. The video's on my Facebook page. You can go back a little bit. I had to keep it real. I don't have no fear. And it was really interesting because there was a white woman who said that she was a teacher. She didn't want to say where she was a teacher at. And she spoke there talking about racial equity and, you know, standing up for the students. There was a young black student, CPS student, who spoke there as well. And apparently the white woman used to be her teacher, right? So she spoke about, you know, Black Lives Matter and racial equity, all the kind of good stuff you want to hear. About 30 minutes later, and again, I live in that area, so I just happen to be close to it. About 30 minutes later, there was a car accident at the corner of Highland and William Howard Taft, which is a block up. Okay. Pardon me. I just happened to be in the vicinity and I heard it. And so I was actually walking. So I walked toward it to see if everybody was okay. And it was the same white woman who had just spoken at that little demonstration. And a black woman got out the car, went over to her and started opening up a can of whoop ass. I mean, she was slinging bowls at her. Wah, wah, wah. The white woman was just defending herself, like, just taking the hits. I'm like, damn. It was Juneteenth, as a matter of fact. It was on Juneteenth. So go back to when that was, 2 weeks ago, right? I'm like, damn, you can do that on Juneteenth? You can just beat up white folks on Juneteenth? It was a whole big spectacle. Well, I bring it up to say that in these days and times, you never know what's going to happen. Like, you can get into what appears to be just a minor fender bender. Maybe it's your fault. Maybe it's the other person's fault. And that person get out the car and start putting their hands on you. That's why I say, man, black, white, or whatever, you have every right to defend yourself. And I recommend that you do. Legally. As long as it's legal, I condone it. If you on some illegal stuff, you're on your own, homie. But let me go straight to the phones and take our first call this morning. Good morning and welcome to the show. Hold on one second. I want to make sure they can actually hear you. Hold on one second, caller. Don't go anywhere. I got you. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Hey, what's good, guy?
Hey, everything, man. What's up with you?
Nothing. You the man. I'm just visiting, you know.
How are you, friend? How was your weekend, brother?
My weekend was great. You know, other than you didn't have a show Friday.
Right.
And I wanted to discuss something that you, I think, totally misread.
Okay.
You know, our good friend, our sister, you know, one of the few chop shop queens, good Tracy, called in and told that story about how she ratted on her son.
Right.
And you thought that was the funniest thing ever.
Yeah, I did.
I was mortified listening to that.
Why?
Because she served her son up to the white man. You've never seen black women in history do that. Every show depicting slavery or that time era back then, you know, some 1930s South, you know, you see black women holding shotguns saying, I'll kill him dead before I let you get to him.
Yeah. I've seen those before.
Would Mabel Thomas do that to Raj and Dee?
Maybe.
Would Weezy Jefferson do that to Nappy Head Lionel or Waves Lionel?
Maybe.
No. Would not serve their kid up to the white man. You up there thought that was funny. I was like, is he serious? But I'm going to kill on that.
I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was hilarious.
It was not.
Because I thought it was hilarious because nothing is funnier than the truth. So for people who missed it, okay, you can be mortified. But listen, for people who may not have heard her story, let me just tell the story real quick. So Tracy goes to her son is working at a particular store. In this particular store, there is a face mask policy where all employees are supposed to wear a face mask. Tracy from Cincinnati goes into that store. She sees her son who doesn't have a face mask on, right? And she tells him, put a face mask on. From the way she told the story, her son got brand new because he was at work and was like, screw you, mom. Tracy's like concerned about it for multiple reasons, which I think are all valid. She's like, oh, okay. So now you're employee and not my son? Okay, I know how to deal with an employee. So she went and told the white female manager of that particular store. And the white female manager, I understand, made him put a mask on. I thought it was hilarious. Yeah, I did. So now people are caught up. So you're outraged. Why now?
She put him in a compromising position. What if that white lady starts approaching her son like,
I'm sorry, go ahead. I don't want to cut you off. Go ahead.
If you don't want to write up, you better put your face where it's always dark. You know, she could have put him in any compromising position. I was so mortified. Like, wow. How you know, I wish my mom or sisters would do me like that. Remember that's you stupid. Hey, let me move on. Hey, oh yeah, with Kanye West, I was disgusted when I heard that. Like the simple fact that he would do that, you know, and people would even take the time to discuss it, whether he could actually win and why, shows me where we're at in society, and it's not a good place. You know, a kook like him. You know what I'm saying?
Is he more or less of a kook than Donald Trump, though?
But that's what I'm saying. Donald Trump, that's what I'm saying. Going back to him even winning. The whole thing that people would actually do this and actually get elected. Like, really? You, Donald Trump? I mean, it was cool when rappers would shout you out, you know, let me in now. Bill Gates, Donald Trump, you know, all that stuff. But, like, president, no, that ain't your game, B. You know, and it's obvious. And same thing with Kanye. That's not going to be his game.
I
don't even think dude knows how to tie a tie.
That's a sad state of affairs, though, man. I agree with your commentary. Even with Trump. Like, the fact that Trump is in the White House says bad things about the electorate. And the fact that Kanye West is getting any kind of media attention says bad things about the state of affairs right now. Maybe it says something about the lack of qualified of politicians and representatives. So people are just looking outside of the norm, trying to find something.
Absolutely. And lastly, you mentioned the possible return of the NBA. Yeah, we're less than a month away. And I'm just gonna give y'all some guidance real quick. If you
give us some guidance,
help you get to a bag. You're looking at out of the East. You're looking at Boston or the Bucks, the Milwaukee Bucks, just because Giannis is so dominant. But Boston, they're the only. You know, somebody's gonna catch the thing or get diagnosed with it. Boston's the only team that can withstand that because they're deep. They've got 5, 6 guys who can give you 30 any night. Nobody else has that. And then in the West, go with the Rockets. They're the best value. The Rockets and Harden, all he needs to be is hot for 21 of 24 games, and he does that nightly. Just lets it fly. You know what I mean? And also, take the Pelicans to be the 8th seed. Because the whole thing is a TV show. It's set up so that Zion gets in the playoffs. Because if the 9th team is more than 4 games, if it's less than 4 games away from the 8th game, they have a 8th team. They have a 1-game playoff. Zion right now is 10th. Portland's got a difficult schedule. They're going to eliminate themselves. Right now they're 9th, and Memphis is 8th. 3.5 games ahead of Zion now. The thing is set up so that Zion gets in the playoffs. He's a star. They want him on television. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, you think you're watching pro sports. No, it's a TV show. And ratings drive it. And Zion's a star. They need him in the playoffs. You understand what I'm saying?
I feel you, brother. Anything else?
Absolutely not. It's been real. I had fun. And I will holler at you at a future moon.
So again, we agree, disagree when it came to Tracy's story. I mean, that's her son. I think that she was teaching him a very valuable lesson. People keep playing with COVID-19. People keep playing with this. There's people out there that don't want to take it seriously. Okay? These are like flat earthers. These are like climate change deniers. People that don't believe that the Holocaust actually happened. Right? They think that the moon is made out of cheese, and they think that COVID-19 is all made up. Okay? Flat earthers equal COVID-19 deniers. It's real. It's real out here. And when I go into a store, especially if it's mandated that they wear masks, then I want to see masks on, period. And it better that it's her than somebody else that probably would have, I don't know, turned up the narrative a little bit to try to get the boy fired. But speaking of Tracy, she's on the line right now. She can speak for herself. Let's go straight to the phones. Good morning, Tracy. Welcome to the show.
You know I got to come behind that mess.
Right.
Okay, so first of all, I'm hearing a lot of feedback, so just bear with me. First of all, I didn't even say the story to be funny. I mean, if people laugh, so be it. Everybody reacts to certain things certain ways. But saying, I'm not one of these parents that, serves my kids up, so to speak. But what you have to understand, if you have any kind of compassion or feelings, is that when you're sitting in front of an oncologist and they tell you or your spouse that you have cancer, it's a big damn deal. When you lay next to your spouse for 6 months and that spouse is going through radiation, it's a big fucking deal. And I'm sorry it's early, Nate, but this shit is, I don't know how to make people realize that COVID is real. We cannot afford, my husband cannot afford for my kid or anybody else's kid to just think that this shit doesn't exist. None of my children are going to blow me off, number one, because it's freaking disrespectful. And yes, I stood up and yes, I said something about it. And if the woman would have did anything outside of the ordinary, like as dramatic as what you said, that's a whole other issue that we would have had to handle. I still have his back. But he's going to use common sense and wisdom as it relates to going out in this world and bringing anything back home that's going to affect his family. So like I said before, I don't make no apologies about it. I don't feel no certain type of way about it. And as of today, he's over it. It didn't affect our family in any kind of way. He understands what he has to do going forward. And I don't know if she wrote him up or not. That's not my business. He's at work. But when I'm walking down that aisle and I see what you're doing and I see what you could potentially bring back home and you don't like it and you just blow me off like I don't matter, we gonna deal with it. And that's what it is. It is what it is. And if it happens tomorrow, it's going to be handled the same way. So it is what it is. And unless you've been through with somebody and through something as traumatic as that or been through it yourself, I don't advise to speak on it because I'm not dealing with the fact that I got to please these kids or whatever. Because if my husband don't work, we don't eat. It's just that damn simple for me. So it is what it is, saying get married, get a spouse, go through some shit, and then holler at me, and that's real. Thanks, Nate.
I appreciate it. Take it easy. Appreciate it. I will just remind people, think about the children. I'm not trying to police anybody, but think about the children. I know we all have tempers that flare. We all adults. It's the internet. We on Facebook. I get it. But think about the children. Children are watching and listening. My children are watching and listening. You know what I'm saying? So there's few people to get as emotional as I do as I'm doing this show. Trust me. So if I can do it, you can do it as well. But I appreciate it. I agree 100%. If I tell my daughter to do something and I'm at work. Oh, okay. Well, then okay. You an employee now? Oh, you an employee now? Okay, great. I know how to deal with employees. Because if you're an employee, that means you got a supervisor. I'll just tell your supervisor. Because you're going to put a mask on. And I think what Tracy was trying to say is that for her, there may be some pre-existing conditions with her husband. And so it's not a game. It's not just about what you think. You might bring something home that compromises the whole household. I get it. Like I said, I'll laugh again because nothing is funnier than the truth. That's that old school tough love. Mask up. I'll say it again. It's a damn shame that city council, and what do you think about this? A $25 fine that it seems like it's not even really enforceable. Like, I got mixed feelings about what city council just did. In a 7-2 vote, the two people that voted against having a mask mandate were the two Republican members of city council. And I've got mixed feelings about it because as a non-white man living in Cincinnati, I understand how law enforcement has been used as a weapon against me and my family in general. Okay. If you look at the numbers and the way that the stay-at-home protection order was prosecuted, right, Rashawn Davis, you and I both know that black people were overrepresented in terms of being cited and arrested for these kind of things. And so I was very happy to see that there were members of city council that were conscious of this as they were making this decision and deliberating. If you didn't get a chance to watch, you can watch on city cable, all of the deliberations, all of the discussions about it. But a $25 fine, I don't really know if that has enough teeth in it. And then two, they wanted to make sure that it wasn't like going through Cincinnati police, because Cincinnati police got other issues to deal with. We got murders and shootings that are skyrocketing all throughout the city. Does it have something to do with COVID-19 and being shut in? Maybe on some levels. So I don't want Cincinnati police being a part of that because I don't really trust them. Like if you give Cincinnati police yet another rationale to stop people, then in my heart, I feel like the black people will be overrepresented in those stops and citations. But $25, what is that supposed to discourage? And then you got to call the health department. Are people really going to do that? Like, you know what? There's 10 people here without a mask on. Then that opens the door for something else, right? That opens the door for citizens to potentially abuse it. But it's a damn shame that city council had to even do this. It's a damn shame. It's a damn shame that you got Cincinnatians walking around here all arrogant, caught up with their so-called rights that don't want to play along to make sure everybody else and everybody's health is being protected. That's the real shame in all of this. It really is. Like I told you, I don't know if we live in the last days, but when the last days actually happen, like our last days on this world, 30 to 40% of the population won't believe it. They'll be arguing against every measure. We don't need to do this. We don't need to do that. They'll be arguing against what's best for the common good, being caught up with their rights and what they believe their rights are. It's amazing. I saw a video of a white dude that was in like a CVS, like a pharmacy store. He is arguing with the security guard, the black security guard, and other patrons because he doesn't want to wear a mask. You're trampling on my rights. How hard is it? Get yourself a tailor-made mask. Get you one of these joints right here. That's all you got to do. You put it on, you walk in, you walk out. There's no problem. You're protecting yourself and you're protecting yourself from other people. How is that so difficult? If you don't want to spend money on one of these designer joints, just get you one of those little white on one side is blue and the other side a little surgical face mask or something like that. Get one of those. They're free. They actually pass them out in some of these stores. Right? But you don't want to do that because of your rights, man. I'm telling you, these Trumpsters, some of these white folks in their arrogance and their privilege is absolutely amazing. It really is. There are people that'll put themselves at harm's risk and their family in harm's risk for their rights. Your rights. Hey, Wanda, thank you for the like and share. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it this morning. It's crazy. Have you seen it? If you live in the city of Cincinnati, have you seen any like scenarios in which people didn't want to wear a mask indoors or, in a particular establishment and an argument breaks out? I love to hear your thoughts about it. I think it's absolutely stupid because it's just so easy. It's just so easy. Just mask up and keep on moving, man. Buy your stuff and keep on moving. That's it. That's all you got. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Sarah. How you doing, brother? Good morning to you. I'm inside the Friends page. Let me take you there real quick. You got to see this because there's so many great examples happening all over the country. And I want to talk about everything with you this morning. 513-873-7. Hey, Kareem, thank you for the like and share. I appreciate it. Good to see you. Okay, there it is right there. That's inside the Friends page, Friends like the Nathan Ivey Show. This was posted by Tracy 19 hours ago. Look at this. This is Dan Hills. Dan Hills is a white male. He's currently the president of the FOP, and he's part of the problem in Cincinnati. The energy he brings to this city is a problem. How would you like to be the officers keeping the peace while this is going on? And he posted a link from a story from Newsweek. Have you seen this? Armed black demonstrators challenge white supremacist militia in Georgia's Stone Mountain Park. You see this? Yeah. And I saw the video. Of this whole situation. These black folks ain't taking no losses at all. Hey, Kimberly, thank you so much for the like and share. They ain't taking no losses. Apparently there was a threat by the KKK. And rather than cowering in fear, oh, they're going to get us, legally strapped up and hit the streets like everybody else is doing. I seen white folks doing this in Michigan over the stay-at-home protection order. If that's okay, then it's got to be okay for black folks to do it in Georgia because of the threat of the KKK. Ain't nobody taking no more losses. We ain't for that. You ready to take a loss for the Klan? I'm not. You know what I'm saying? That's the very essence of an eye for an eye, and I loved it. 100%. That's what time it is right now. Black folks should be thinking about how you're going to build wealth in your family, in your community, how you're going to build institutions to protect us, protect yourself, and how to legally strap up. Because if and when the police show up, you don't know what their mentality is going to be. And who's waiting around for the police to save you from the KKK? I loved it. This is the mood right now. Period. Across the board. And if you don't like it, then leave black people the hell alone. That's all you got to do. It's easy. It's easy peasy. Leave us alone and we will leave you alone. Black folks are the most peaceful people on the planet. Black people are so forgiving. Remember the family of Botham Jean? That wouldn't have been me if that was my loved one. Can I give you a hug? Yeah, I want to give you a hug so I can put my hands on you. Black folks are the most forgiving, the most second chance people in the world, and that has been used against us. This is what time it is. As long as you're doing it legally, I ain't got no problem with it. And Dan Hills is a problem. Just by what I see him posting, I can tell, you can only imagine what he's saying behind closed doors. You can only imagine. And from the outside looking in, he seems to be a negative force, negative energy. He's probably telling these officers, like, you know, they out to get you. Everyone's out to get you. No one's out to get you. We need you. We just don't want the officers with the negative Conan barbaric attitude. That's what we don't want. Nobody's against police. I'm pro-police. I'm anti-bad police. If you want to George Floyd us, I ain't with you. You want to take away rights? I ain't with you. If you're doing your job, I got your back. We with you. You should watch. You should see this video. You should follow this link and check it out. It's very interesting. It was like hundreds of them, all in black. We ain't taking no losses. I loved it because we have to save us. You have to save your family. I won't be there. We won't be there. You have to do it. And if you're not willing to do it, then how's it going to get done? I loved it. Every bit of it. Every bit of it. I'm all about that life. It was great. Group of armed demonstrators enter Stone Mountain Park. See, now when white people got weapons, is this your Second Amendment rights? And 1776 and George Washington. How are you? Good. Oh, from yesterday? You getting ready? Love you. Come see me before you roll. I said, come see me before you leave. It's all about the babies. I loved it, man. So when black people have guns, all of a sudden, how would you like to be the officer in charge of this? Well, it depends. To answer Dan Hill's question, I didn't see them breaking the peace. When I watched the video, all they was doing was marching and talking. I didn't see them doing anything threatening. I didn't see them doing anything wrong. All they was doing was, see, when black people organize, people get scared. That's why Dan Hills is afraid. It's less about the weapons and it's about the display of organization. That's what Dan Hills is responding to. That's what he's got a problem with. They ain't got a problem with black folks with guns as long as you ain't organized with a plan. When you get organized with a plan, oh boy, we got a problem here. Got a problem. That's what's so threatening to people like Dan Hills with his mentality. You see this? How would you like to be the officers keeping the peace while this is going on? Well, if you minding your own damn business, you ain't gonna have no problems. If you're not harassing people, you ain't gonna have no problem. They're gonna walk right past you because you're not their target. That militia, that black militia, was put together to fight the KKK. If you're not a part of KKK, they ain't got no problems with you. Bye, son. Be safe, be smart, be strong, son. Okay, I love you. If you got to do what you got to do. Wifey helps you when I say that sometimes. Yeah, that's what Dan Hill's responding to. He's like, oh, these black folks is organized. They all dressed the same, taking orders from one person. Oh, my God. We got a problem here. I guarantee you over the next, 5-10 years, we'll hear stories about how the FBI is now surveilling these black organizations, right? Again, what people need to know is that COINTELPRO never went away. They just got quiet about it. COINTELPRO is not a thing of the past. They're doing it right now. They never stopped. They infiltrated. If you go back to the Iraq War, COINTELPRO put its focus on these anti-war protesters, infiltrated them, tried to tear them up from within. These are people who are anti-war. I'll say it again. Don't fall asleep, family. COINTELPRO is still alive and well today. It never went away. All right? It's still active today. Don't fall asleep. I'm sure we'll read about it real soon. So that's what the problem is. Hey, Mary, good morning to you. That's what the problem is. When black people start organizing, oh boy, wait a minute. It's one thing when they disorganize with their weapons, but now they organize? Oh, we got a problem here. Oh, Lordy. We losing control. We losing control. Again, I don't have a problem with it. I didn't see anything wrong. I watched the video. I didn't see them do anything that was illegal. I don't know all the laws in Georgia. Maybe some of my Georgia listeners can edify me as to that. But I didn't see a problem with it whatsoever. What about you? 513-873-7134 if you'd like to share your thoughts. Like, when you saw that image I just showed you, what was the first thing that went through your mind? Be honest with me. What was the first thing that went through your heart? For me, I was thinking, shoot, we should do something like that in Ohio. That's what I was thinking. Keep it real with you. And we ain't got no more time for the KKK. We ain't taking no more losses. We ain't taking no more shorts. We ain't taking no more back seats. We ain't letting you harm our family, blow up our children. Nah, them days is over with. Them days is over with. It ain't happening like that. But maybe you feel differently. 513-873-7134 if you'd like to share your thoughts this morning. I would love to hear them. Dale writes, working from home jobs are primarily held by white people. Hey, good to see you. Sister Iris writes, good morning, great people. Good to see you. Good to be seen. Good to be seen. Cleopatra writes, rise and shine, young choppers. No, she writes, rise and shine, choppers. Had something else in my mind. Michael writes, here from Dayton. What's up, man? How you doing, Michael? What's up in Dayton? I've heard about DPD, man. Y'all got some issues up there. Now, do you have like a collaborative type of agreement like they have in Cincinnati? Why hasn't that idea caught like wildfire all through the state of Ohio? And the other thing is, when are we going to get substance? That's what I'm waiting for. People talking about taking down statues of Christopher Columbus. We should have been did that. I'm with it, but we should have been did that. But when do we get the equity policy and tangibles that really matters? When do we get that? We got Black Lives Matter downtown. Cool. Speaking of which, did you see again, it's going to happen here in Cincinnati as well because these things follow a pattern. But did you see the story? Where was this at here? They're calling her Roller Rhonda. Let me put this back on the screen. You see what she did? She took and she lucky that people didn't whoop her ass, right? She lucky about that. She real lucky. Because these people took the time to make these murals and you're going to go over here and you just going to paint over it. She lucky. You see this? She real lucky. She real lucky that somebody didn't put their hands on her. So I'm not sure what city this was. It's not Cincinnati because, listen, it would have been a story, believe me. But she decided that she was going to take a paintbrush and then she was going to paint over the Black Lives Matter. You better believe that people have thought about doing it if they're not only planning to do it here in the city of Cincinnati, which, again, I told you that's probably going to happen. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way things go. Where was this at, Charles? Charles posted this, man. I'm not sure what city this is, but you see this? And how is she allowed to just do this? See that? And from what I am from the story, they decided to paint over it. And all they're going to do is go back over and paint right back over again. That's all they're going to do. Is that Washington, D.C.? They decided to do this because this is what you want to do on your Sunday morning. This is what you want to do early in the morning. You want to get up and paint over the Black Lives Matter mural. Anybody know what city this is? I'd love to know. I'd love to know. And they did this because they felt like racism is a media made up thing. These are white people. How are white people going to tell non-white people when and if and where racism is? That white dude right there should have got off that bike and snatched that from her. Oh, here we go. Here we go with the confrontation. I knew it was going to happen. See, this kind of ignorance needs to be confronted. See, it's a white guy. I love it. I love it. See, and I don't know where this is, but see, they're lucky. See how he's pulling her away like, baby, don't do it. Don't do nothing. They're lucky right there. Because there's some people that would have got out the car and whooped that ass on sight. No questions asked. No comments made. They get out the car, seeing what you're doing, and go straight in your mouth. They're very lucky. These are very lucky white people. These are very lucky people because these people are here just talking to them. And like I said, I'm not saying I'm that guy, but there's some folks out there that rolled out the car and get straight blizzy with it right then and there. Don't care if the police is there. It don't matter. Look at this. So disrespectful. So damn disrespectful. But again, symbols are not tangibles. When do we get the tangibles? When do we get to that? That's what I'm waiting on. 513-873. This is what you got to do. You're going to get up in the morning. So you're laying in bed like, you know what? I'm going to paint over the Black Lives Matter mural today. Yep, that's what we're going to do today, Charles. Come on. Get some paint. This is what you're doing. You ain't got nothing better to do. I mean, you know, you get what you get, man. You get what you get. I would have been, I'll be honest with you, selfish, and maybe I'm wrong or right, but if at the end of that video, some folks would have just posseed up, you know what I'm saying, 4 or 5 Cam Newtons in a Tahoe, open the door, get out there and get blizzy with them, I would have had no problems with it. You get what you get. It is what it is. Yes, the 4th of July is only for Europeans from my perspective, 4th of July. I can't disrespect the ancestors by celebrating their enslavement. I agree with you on that, 100%, brother. Glenn writes, I celebrate the 4th, but as an adult, it turned into an event about family and friends, not so much about fireworks. I mean, listen, to each their own. I'm not here to judge you. I just want to get your opinion about, how you do what you do and what you think. I'm not here to judge you at all. Do you? But for non-white people who have a problem and don't celebrate the 4th, I completely understand that. I completely understand. If you're like, man, it's just a day off, man. I don't even do anything different. I understand. Because why would you? Think about it. What does July 4th actually mean to us? I mean, here we are hundreds of years later, still fighting for parity, for dignity, for equity, right? So I get it, 100%. Rachel writes, good morning. Good morning to you, Rachel. Let me see. Ben writes, JPP clones. I'm not sure what that means. Rachel writes, fireworks can be fun for kids on most occasions, like we firearms. But if you want to play with them, you will get hurt. Yeah, I mean, if you get a sparkler here and there, you get a firecracker here and there, cool. Man, there's people out there that put on their own personal fireworks display, spend hundreds of dollars shooting off fireworks for hours and hours on end. This what you're doing? This what you're doing as a grown person? Like, if you got the land to do it, like you've got enough land, private land, and you've got enough knowledge, do you? But if your house is literally 2 feet away from your neighbor's house on both sides, you can't do the whole fireworks display in your backyard. I mean, at least you shouldn't. But, there I go, having manners and etiquette. Frederick Dulles was, what is the 4th of July to a black man? Yes, I'm very aware. You're right. Marlon writes, good morning, beautiful people. Good to see you, Marlon. Brian Taylor writes, let's do that tactical. It's already in the works, man. Absolutely. A lot of people got their CCWs and then they never get a weapon. If you get your CCW, get a weapon. Get a weapon. You don't have to necessarily carry it. Keep it at home. But now you have the legal flexibility. You hear me say that over and over again. Do it legally. So you don't have no problems with the law. But now you have the legal flexibility to protect yourself and your family rather than being at the whim of a stranger that doesn't have your best interests in mind. And you don't know when and if law enforcement are going to show up. And if they do, what their mentality is going to be. You have to protect yourself in the new America. If you're not willing to do that, you are setting yourself up for failure. You're setting your family up for failure. And you'll regret it. Something happens and you remember these words. You're going to be like, damn, Nate was right. Okay? And then move beyond CCW. Move into being more tactical, more proficient in various scenarios. Because more than likely, if you have to pull your weapon out and use it, it's not going to be the same scenario as it was when you was getting your CCW. You're standing in a controlled environment. You got the instructor right there. You got your earphones on. You can take your time and breathe. That's not how it's going to go down. And so you have to practice for these scenarios so that you don't lock up, right? Male or female, don't matter how big you are, how much testosterone you are, you have to practice these things so that you don't lock up. And so you remember your training, right? In that scenario. That, to me, that seems very, very, very basic and simple to me. It is what it is. Good morning. Michael writes, didn't know Kanye was worth $1.3 billion. I didn't know that either. Rachel writes, ain't nobody falling for that bait fame in regards to the mask. Get out of here. Lynn writes, Game is speaking truth. Fame is speaking truth on the NBA. Yes, he is. Nathan, please talk about what McCord Maker did by signing with Howard. Yeah, so McCord Maker, I think his brother is Thon Maker, who played in the NBA, might still be in the NBA for a while. And he was a big-time recruit. And he decided to go to Howard University over UCLA. Now, this is interesting. This is very interesting. Let me put this back on the screen here. This is very interesting because, I love the energy that we have right now inside of the community. I love it. And the energy right now is what I talked about. It's about building organizations, institutions, new systems that protect, and promote us on all different levels. You mad about racism? Go start a new business and be successful and make money for you and your family. Right? You mad about racism? Then start a movement and or join the movement. All right? You mad about racism? Then be successful. It's all you got to do. Nothing will drive these racists more crazy than you having the money to live in the same gated community. Than you having the ability to make sure you can put your kids in the same college as them. Okay? Nothing will terrify and drive these racist Darrens and Karens over the top more than you being successful in your black family unit. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Is build up your own wealth. It will drive them nuts. Crazy. That's all you got to do. Okay? But I love this energy, and this energy is also trickling down to the sports world. So for a long time, there's been a running conversation. I mean, and sometimes it's been louder than others about the what if. What if black athletes divested from the NC2AA system, stopped going to these 5-star so-called blue chip college programs and started going to smaller and HBCUs? Okay, because we already know that it's the black athletes that are the real life's blood of sports entertainment. It's black athletes. Without black athletes, there is no NBA. Without black athletes, there is no NC2AA. Without black athletes, there is no NFL. People tune in to watch black athletes. And because all of the black athletes are pulled in these big time leagues, that's where the money goes. So the potential of what Maker has done with by going to Howard, and we'll have to wait and see. Like so he's an NBA prospect, right? Will it hurt him? Will it hurt his chances of becoming a lottery pick in the NBA by going to Howard? If it does not hurt his chances, then you could potentially see other big-time 5-star recruits doing the same thing, saying, you know what, I'm going to invest in an HBCU rather than in, some big-time Big Ten so-called blue-chip program. Potentially, it could be paradigm shifting. It could change the balance of power in terms of college sports entertainment. That's the potential of it. Now, will that happen? We'll have to wait and see, but potentially that's what could happen. And again, it all depends on whether Maker is he able to get to the NBA as a lottery pick and still make that big time top 10 lottery pick NBA money, even though he went to a smaller school. He chose a historically black college over UCLA. Kentucky, that's all they do is produce NBA lottery picks. Memphis. I mean, those are the schools that a lot of these highly sought after black high school athletes go to, not because they have some great affinity for those schools. It's a it's a stepping stone to big time NBA, lifestyle and luxury. But think about what that could do. Like, if all of the big time 5-star recruits went to Howard and this trend was sustained over 5 years, then guess what would happen? The big time college contracts would follow. People don't want to watch scrubs on TV. I don't want to watch no damn scrubs on TV. I want to watch the stars. Right? If all the stars are at the HBCUs, then that's where the television contracts will go. And that's where the big money goes. And now if you got millions of dollars going to HBCUs, what does that do? It changes the paradigm. That's potentially big. And I hope the brother is successful, and I hope he follows his dreams and gets his dreams. But for it to really be paradigm shifting, it needs to be a mass exodus. Like the vast majority of the 5-star recruits need to do it. Right? If it's just one or two, it's great. It's cool. It's a great example. It could be something. But if you get a mass like exodus of these high school recruits doing that, man, that would change the game. That could change the game and change the paradigm shift. I would have no problem with it. Michael writes, COVID-19 is not a joke. I agree, Michael, 100%. The first caller should feel like an ass. Speaking about fame. Yeah, I mean, I don't judge. I try to talk about the issues and not people personally. I could understand why Tracy was a little bit feeling like she was a little bit attacked on a personal level. I'm glad she called in. And I agree with it. I stand by what I said. I thought it was hilarious because nothing is funnier than the truth. To me, that was that old school tough love. And I could see myself doing the same thing with my children. Oh, you want to disrespect daddy because now you got you a job? Oh, you ain't got to listen to me because you're at work? Oh, okay. Well, you're right. I'm going to treat you just like you're going to treat me like I'm a customer. I'm going to treat you like you're an employee. And when I have a problem with an employee, I go to the supervisor. I had no problem with it. How can it be enforceable? It's an ordinance, not a law, correct? To me, this is like a strong suggestion from city council in terms of wearing your mask. And if anybody gets listen, if we start to see a lot of black people getting $25 fines, then what? I hope it doesn't happen. I can't say I anticipate or don't anticipate. I hope it doesn't happen. If it does, then we'll have to wait and see, what city council does after that. Under the new law, people will need to wear a mask when inside a business, as well as entering, exiting, or waiting in line for businesses like grocery stores and restaurants and city buildings. And again, I don't understand what the problem is. It's just so easy. You know what I'm saying? Most of the grocery stores I see now, like even Kroger, I went in, they were giving out masks. They had an attendant who was spraying down people. It was not spraying. She had hand sanitizer for people. I mean, they're making it super easy for you. But people are getting caught in their feelings. I don't want nobody telling me what to do and all this other kind of nonsense. Dude, this is America. Yes, America. You're right. People have all these issues with government mandates unless it's a mandate that they like. Like, there's a government mandate right now for you to wear a seatbelt. People do it all the time. There's a government mandate right now for a lot of different things. I mean, just think about, these particular retail businesses and grocery stores. If you try to walk into a grocery store with no shoes on, no socks on, and no shirt on, what's going to happen? I would say 9 times out of 10, somebody's going to come over to you and say, hey, well, can you go back and put a shirt on and some shoes on because we've got a dress code? 99.9% of people adhere to that when they go into stores. But as soon as somebody say put a face mask on, all of a sudden you want to get political. My rights. You're already succumbing to mandates. What's the difference? Cover your bird chest, cover your feet, and now cover your ears, your mouth, and your nose. I don't get the problem with it. Riding in public transportation, including a streetcar, ride-sharing services like Uber and Lyft. Over the last couple of days, I've seen some videos of Uber and Lyft drivers where people try to get into their car without a mask on. And then they wanted to argue with the rideshare driver like the rideshare driver was wrong. I saw one video of a black woman who didn't have a mask on. I guess she just left the grocery store. I ain't joking with you, family. She tried to put a plastic, like one of those plastic grocery store bags. She tried to put a plastic bag over her face. The driver said no and canceled the ride. Props to that driver. Long story short, people will do whatever they will do whatever you allow them to do to you. They'll do whatever you allow them to do to you. It is what it is. Let me see here. So there was the new face mask policy was authored by Councilman Greg Landsman. Let's see. Jeff Pastor and Betsy Sunderman voted against the ordinance. Pastor said he was concerned about racial disparities in the way the ordinance could be enforced and wanted more creative solutions, like more mask distribution in public spaces. I share those concerns. Sunderman did not offer a reason for her no vote. I mean, what is Betsy Sunderman doing on city council? How did she get there again? I'm just saying voters should think long and hard about who they elect to city council in 2021. Some of these decisions I just don't get. Councilman Christopher Smitherman expressed concern about starting the new policy on July 7th. He proposed implementing a later date, blah, 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 blah. Council decided to add language to say that proper city officials and specifically the Board of Health and its employees are authorized to do all things necessary and proper to carry out the ordinance, and requiring the Board of Health to regularly update the council on its response. The health department will have the authority to issue tickets to people not in compliance. Well, how's that going to work? Like, does the health department have that many people working for them that they got people just out and about? Or is it the kind of thing where, like, you place a phone call and then somebody will come and then I don't get it. I don't really understand it, but I guess they felt like they had to be some kind of civil fine or something like that. Greg Lansman said people who see others not wearing a mask in public can call the health department, which opens the door for Karens and Darrens out here. Like, would you do that? Would you actually, if you're in public somewhere, would you call the health department and complain because someone's not wearing a mask? Would you do that? Like 513-873-7134. Are you that kind of human? I'm not judging you. I would just like to know. You tell me. 513-873-7134. With that, I got to move into a break. We'll come right back. Don't go anywhere. It's the Nathan Ivey Show. I'm live, I'm local, and I'm vocal. And we'll pick up the conversation on the other side.
On our drinking water supply.
Have you noticed that when we go out, we barely talk to each other? Didi.
This is Zoe Wesson. There are a few times in life to make history. Hamilton County was founded 230 years ago, but has never elected a black county treasurer. It's time for change. Elect a proven, trusted, experienced candidate for Hamilton County Treasurer, Charlie Winburn. We know Charlie, and he knows us. Charlie Winburn was the former chairman of the Jobs and Growth Committee on Cincinnati City Council under the Honorable Democrat Mayor Mark Mallory. Winburn led the fight to keep 2,000 U.S. postal jobs in Cincinnati. He also fought for wage increases for thousands of city employees, especially our sanitation workers. Charlie Winburn will safeguard more than $1.4 billion in real estate taxes and will increase new home ownership and new jobs. On Tuesday, November 3rd, vote Charlie Winburn for Hamilton County Treasurer. Let's make history together.
I am Charlie Winburn, and I'm asking you for your vote, paid for by friends of Charlie Winburn.
This is Zoe Wesson. What side of history do you want to be on? The right side, or one where black people continue to be underrepresented in Hamilton County? Now's your chance to end 230 years of exclusion. In Charlie Winburn, we have a man that's received the Cincinnati NAACP President's Award, who fought on the Ohio Civil Rights Commission for 6 years, who received the Baptist Ministers Conference Community Service Award. Charlie Winburn has received the Southern Christian Leadership Conference Award and was honored by WDBZ The Buzz as Pastor of the Month. We know Charlie Winburn, and he knows us. He's the right man to put us on the right side of history. On Tuesday, November 3rd, vote for Charlie Winburn for Hamilton County Treasurer.
I am Charlie Winburn, and I'm asking you for your vote on Tuesday, November the 3rd, paid for by friends of Charlie Winburn.
1 in 3 adults in America have prediabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. And it took me months, like this. Years 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living then has mama. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 84 million Americans at risk, exercise and healthy eating can help reverse prediabetes. Start by taking a simple 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Bet he can't say that in reverse.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, I had one thing on my mind. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball every chance I could. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn the signs of a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. Because the sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in their recovery. I'm Paul George. Protect the ones you love. Spot a stroke F-A-S-T. Fast. Life is why. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Knowing your breasts can save your life. Go to knowyourgirls.org for the facts you need on breast health. Brought to you by Susan G. Komen and the Ad Council.
We depend on our drinking water supply daily, but where does that water come from? Your water provider encourages you to get to know your local water source so together we can protect and preserve it. The investments we make as a community to protect our water source now ensure we have a sustainable drinking water supply for the future. Visit drinktap.org to learn more. This message is brought to you by the American Water Works Association and your local water provider.
Hello, I'm Charlie Winburn with Renew Community Church. It seems like the coronavirus came from nowhere. I have some good news that if you never quit and don't give up, out of nowhere, the way will be made for you and your family. Take your life back. Join Renew Community Church each Sunday, 11:45 a.m. on Facebook Live, facebook.com/CincyRenew. Rewrite your life while at home. Join Renew Community Church for the 12-week Rewrite.me series each Sunday on Facebook Live. Renew your life at home. Go to SundayConnectCircle.org for a free 12-week, 200-page PDF. Take your power back. Rewrite your life. Join Renew Community Church each Sunday at 11:45 a.m. on Facebook Live, facebook.com/CINCI Renew. I am Charlie Winburn, and remember, out of nowhere, the way will be made for you and your family.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Nathan Ivey with you, Nathan Ivey Show. And as always, my pleasure. I wasn't with you on Friday. I hated it. As I told you, I told the story earlier. I was in a hospital overnight. I was trying to get some tests done, and I couldn't get a test done before that. The technicians went home on Thursday because some markers came back, I guess, not good. They wanted to keep me overnight, so just as I was about to do a show live from my hospital room, they were coming to get me to do the said test. So I took care of it. Everything seems good. Like I said, I keep telling people I feel great. I feel better now than I have in years, quite honestly. Very, very well. But thank you for the well wishes. Didn't want to alarm anyone. Didn't really want to put it on Facebook. But I owe you that. I owe the choppers that. I owe the people that like and share this show every single day and enjoy the show. An explanation as to what was going on. So that's what it is. Back with you, and hopefully better than ever this morning. Hopefully you haven't had any issues. We were having some issues with the sound. I think I've worked that out and figured it out. It was more on my end. Not something I did wrong, but something I had to correct. But everything is good. And we're talking about the issues and everything going on. The face mask policy. Somebody said that they did see some arguments here in the city of Cincinnati. People arguing over that. I haven't seen any arguments about the face mask policy. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I'm not surprised to hear it. To me, it's pretty simple. It's sad the city council has to even do this. It's sad that you even have to do this. I mean, we're all grown adults. Grown adults. I want to remind you, though, I love the energy that I'm seeing in the black community. So many people are doing so many great things that empower, amplify, and enrich the black family. And I'm 100% about that life on all levels. I 100% love it. And if you're asking yourself, what should we be doing? That's what you should be doing. You should be joining a movement or starting a movement. Every person who can hear my voice right now, I don't care who you are. I don't care about your educational background. I don't care about your doubts and insecurities. I'm here to tell you, you have something valuable to give to us. You have something valuable, some unique experience, a unique idea. You got something valuable that the larger community, the larger family would benefit from. Do it. Do it. Put it in place. You can do it. Don't let your doubts or whatever, your fears. I mean, everybody feels that. You know, you just got to do it anyway. Don't worry about what people are going to say and what they're going to say. They may laugh or they may say, you know, whatever. Don't worry about all that. Just do it. Just do it. And someone will support you. You know, at least one person will support you. That is me. Good morning to you. 513-87. As long as that's some dumbish. If you're on some dumbish, I can't be around now. You already know. But if it's on some realness, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. 513-873-7134. If you'd like to share your thoughts. All I ask is that you open your mind before you open your mouth. Other than that, it's all good. We can agree to disagree. We might arrive at the same conclusion, taking different paths. It is all good. I would like to hear from you this morning. This show is about you. Okay, I got it, brother. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Please, again, all the messages, the links, the information, things that are going on, I appreciate it. Guests, if there's an author, if there's a guest that you would like for me to go after, that you want to hear a conversation about, an intelligent conversation with, hit me up. Send me a link. I will do my due diligence. Again, as long as it's some realness, I'm with it. I'm with it 100%. Good morning to you. This is a local story. I'm only bringing this up because, you know, I'm not sure if Andrea's listening right now, but, you know, this whole Victor Cousins story, man, damn, got to get me a church. 21 months after 21 months in the criminal justice system, the harassment charge filed by a New York City model against the pastor of the Forest Park mega church because he uploaded, get this is a man of God who uploaded a sex tape, essentially. Apparently, he had a video set up and he recorded an intimate moment between himself and a woman he was dating. That woman's name is Andrea. I'm not sure if she listens right now or she's listening. I know she's listening from time to time, and she's been nice enough to call in and give us the update on the story because, man, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. But, I mean, just amazing. Apparently, it got thrown out because of a technicality. Like, it was jurisdiction, something like that, and it got thrown out. It's not that it didn't happen, but it was thrown out. And that church, man, has had all kinds of issues under the leadership of Victor Cousins. I don't know the brother, but I haven't heard a lot of good things. I'll be honest with you. I mean, where's the money going? Andre actually sent me a copy of a check that was like, it was a church check, but it was made out to her on some personal ish. Like, you know, he was paying his women, his girlfriends with church money. You know, is that why people go to mega churches, so you can give your money to the mega church pastor's girlfriend? Is that why when they send the tithing plate or box or bucket or whatever the hell it is around, that's why you give money to the church, so that money can go to the mega church pastor's girlfriends? Because that's what Victor Cousins was doing. That's just a crazy story right there, man. Like, where is all the money? Now the church is millions of the dollars behind. I mean, what kind of man, like I said, that's a creep right there. Like, what kind of self-respecting man videotapes himself in an intimate moment with a woman, and then you're going to put this against her wishes on the internet? I mean, that's just a different level of immaturity and narcissism that you really wouldn't expect from a man who's supposed to be a leader. He was the bishop of the Inspirational Baptist Church. The Inspirational Baptist Church. Any members of the Inspirational Baptist Church listening right now? If so, I would love to get your opinion about all of this. Some people so lost in the sauce, they probably like, that was God working. We knew it wasn't true. We knew it wasn't true. Well, that's not what I'm getting. What I'm getting is that it was a technicality, and that's why it was thrown out. It's a damn shame, man. That's the reason why people turn away from God and turn away from the church, because of situations like this. Damn, he was living good, though. I think I read in one story, because there's been a lot of stories about this whole scenario. But I read one story in which it said that I recall that it read that the church was paying him like 20 G's a month, paying his child support. Like, you can do that? You can get the church to do that? Damn. Bump Talk Radio, man. Give me a church. That's where the money is. That is crazy. Let me go straight to the phones here. Good morning and welcome to the show.
What's going on, Nate? How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing? How was your weekend?
My weekend was cool, actually. Actually, that's why I called, because you were talking about do you celebrate 4th of July. But back on what you were just saying, really, they paying child support? The church is paying that?
Yeah, I remember reading that. Yeah, the church was paying him like some of his. They was paying him. Part of what they were paying him was going to his child support. Yes.
Was that coming up to a vote? I mean, I don't know, man. You might have to get an outside job if you're paying child support and you're taking out the church kitty. I don't know. That sounds all wrong to me. And I'm not the most religious person, so I ain't trying to disrespect people. But, it don't sound right. Do it to you, Nate?
It don't sound right at all. But nothing about this whole story surrounding Victor Cousins sounds right. And Victor Cousins, last time I saw him, he was downtown at one of those protests. I think it was the men in suits, ladies in heels. And he was down there leading the line dance or something crazy. I'm like, this is the dude you got down here with a microphone? Okay.
So he got his little Cincinnati Umar Johnson thing going on. He taking applications, or did he, what?
He might be.
What?
He might be.
I mean, come on, Nate. Did you see that too, Nate? I mean, I know you talked about it last week. And, there's some funny quips that you can have off of it. But really? That's how you find love, Nate? Fill out the application in 2020? I mean, I got it a long time ago. But that's what they're doing now? See, I didn't even want to call about this. You got me fired up about it.
But you know what, though, Mason Mahler, man? Be honest with you. I mean,
I heard you. I know what you're going to say.
Is that so bad compared to how people are doing it now? And the majority of marriages end in divorce? I don't know if that's such a bad idea to get an application. I think that people should approach marriage much like they approach a business arrangement or a business partnership.
You know what it is?
That's what it is.
You know what it is? You know what it is, mate? It's my old school in me. The same old school that understand exactly why Tracy told her son to put on a mask, and when he even attempted to act brand new. I mean, just a little bit. You know how it is, man. Quite honestly, and I told her this. That would be something my mother would have done. Honestly. Oh, and the fact that you're going to try to even act up slightly. Can you imagine medium-sized Buddha, a little man even trying to doing that? If you're a parent, you're on top of your kids, you know exactly where she was coming from. And, I had to deal with my own bout of cancer, Nate. It doesn't even sound right to say, fortunately, we didn't have to deal with it during the COVID-19 crisis, but I can just imagine. Absolutely imagine. Nate, you asked me what I did for the weekend. Actually, it was in North Avondale. Cooked for the family, but it wasn't the same 4th of July celebration that we typically have. And when you asked the question back then, it brought me back. Nate, you're right. The older I got, the less it was about fireworks, and the the more it was about just family getting together, friends. Mom and dad come out. Like old school stuff. They come out early in the evening. Be there till about 6, 7, maybe stay to 9. And once they leave, we do what we do. that type of stuff. But I remember, Nate, back when the kids were young, and I don't know if you did this. Well, I mean, little man's still young, but I remember when the kids were young, Nate, we moved up. We had a first house out in Mason, and I found out that Rossie's Fireworks was right there in Loveland. Can you imagine, Nate? What am I, 29 years old, got a little money in my pocket, didn't have to go to Indiana or Kentucky, and I can just ride from Mason to Loveland. And they had like the little shed. It was probably as big as an apartment. They were lit like maybe 15, 20 people, about 10, 15 people at a time. Man, you could spend $100, Nate, and get stuff that, you know, my father didn't get back when, you know, we actually did fireworks big time in the 70s type of thing. So, yeah, eventually it turned into the kids. Everybody bring the kids out. When all our friends and, you know, and couples, their kids were young, and they come out to the house, have a big old party, do the fireworks thing, you know, kids fall asleep on the way, you know, back home in the car type stuff, just like it was when we were young. But when I got older, man, it's about just grilling, inviting people over. Like I said yesterday, the only person that came over that was extra outside of the family was my best friend. He stopped by. But, you know, that's my mother's his mother, that type thing. But,
okay.
And it was funny, Nate. I don't know if you saw it on Facebook, but my son was setting up the umbrellas and the chairs and wiping off stuff. And I put on there, I said, hey, that used to be my job. And because that's what I did. Now, you know, I get to be the cook, man. I get to grill. I get to sit back. I mean, I got to deal with the heat, you know, from the charcoal. But other than that, man, it was cool. Sat down after that. Everybody started to leave. Me, my mom, my best friend, and my son sat at a table outside, man. We probably talked for about a couple hours, reminiscing about stuff that we did when we were teenagers. And, you know,
good
sitting there
time.
telling my son, these 13, you know, these stories about when we were 13 and 14 hanging out and you know, telling those stories and stuff that we thought we got away with, you know, the pool parties when her and my dad left out of town on vacation. She knew because the neighbor up the street was like, hey, you know, the police came by, going through a party type stuff. But it was all about love, all about seeing, you know, what we can get away with and, you know, and what level you're going to stop. And my mother knew, you know, especially with me and my boy Sean together. We ain't stupid enough to do something to get arrested. Because you know, my mother was like, I'm not coming to get you. So I told you the story when I got arrested my senior year at Woodward. The first person I called was my father because I was so scared that I would need police protection if D had to show up to district court.
Right.
So, I mean, really, I'm like, you know, and just the shame of it all. Because the first look I'm going to get, Nate, from her is like, now you know better. You know I didn't teach you to do some stupid stuff like that. And that's a look you never want to see from a parent.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, man, I had a great time, man. I actually played golf Friday night. Thursday, spent the night on my boy's house. He got a little condo out in Blue Ash. First time I spent the night over there. We woke up early Friday morning and went to Elks Run out in Batavia. You know, it was like, 12 brothers deep. So we had carts everywhere, man. Played golf all day, went ate afterwards. That's another thing too, Nate. The last two times I played golf, on Father's Day with some brothers, and like I said, Friday, those are the only two times in the last 4 months, Nate, that I've sat in a restaurant. And the first time we went to Twin Peaks, and this time we went to City Barbecue.
Yeah, I still haven't.
Batavia.
I still haven't.
And it tripped me out because I didn't think about it because I'm like, oh, you know, we going to, you know, hanging out with the guys that I know. And the one thing, when we left the golf course, nobody wore masks on the golf course. Everybody was like wearing it when you're inside the clubhouse and everything. And then after we played, we went back in the clubhouse. Everybody sit down, you know, get you a drink, maybe a broader met or something. And we sat down and divvied up the money. And some of the older guys, you know, they had on their masks. I personally didn't have one on, I ain't gonna lie. But when we went to the restaurant, you know, we didn't sit close together, you know, and close together, not close together, you know, fellas. But you know what I'm saying? The 6 around the table, maybe it was 4, maybe 3, 1 on each corner and 2 in the middle type stuff. That was different. But yeah, there's the only 2 times I've sat in a restaurant in the last 4 months, Nate, and those were those 2 times. And you know, me and my son, man, I still cook. Try to cook as much as possible. You know, I know A-Ray used to get on me about DoorDash and her and Angela. I don't do that anymore. And I'm like you, man. After yesterday and all the barbecuing I did, Nate, I went grocery shopping last night. I'm cutting red meat out my diet, man. Bought a bunch of chicken. I bought just about every damn fish that you can think of. And for anybody out there, what is rockfish? I bought a bag of that. So, but yeah, man, I'm trying to switch it up, Nate.
Okay. That's beautiful, man. Like I said, don't be like me, man.
Juicy from the PJs.
Like I said, be better than me, man. Don't be like me. Don't make the mistakes I made. And then, you know, wait until you have like a catastrophic near-death experience to try to change, man. Do it beforehand, brother. Do it beforehand.
Yep.
A lot of that stuff is 100% preventable. It's all about, what you're putting in your body. You know what? I will send you a couple of links to some YouTube channels I think might be useful to you as you're, making some different choices.
Okay. Hey, I appreciate it.
Oh,
hey,
absolutely.
I didn't want to get into politics real quick, but I just want to say this. I don't know if you got a chance to listen to the president's, you probably was like, Black him, his speech in front of Mount Rushmore and his speech on the 4th of July celebration. But Nate, he basically talked about how America has overcome communism, Marxism, Al-Qaeda, and terrorism, and they'll overcome the radical left. Yes, he equated those two, Black Lives Matter, the radical left, anarchists, rioters, agitators. He threw that at agitators. So now you agitated that people show up in the street and peacefully protest. But yeah, he's equating it to terrorism now. So that's going to be his play. So I just wanted to leave on that note, Nate. But man, you take care of yourself. I'm telling you, Nate, man, when you are not here in the morning, man, it screws up a lot of people's, I'm just being selfish. I know you're like, man, I'm trying to live, but hey, I'm trying to be entertained too in the morning, and we look forward to it, and you are definitely a part of our morning, man. Can you hear me?
I'm sorry, I had my mic off. I said I appreciate it, brother, 100%. And believe me, I love doing the show. I love getting up every morning and politicking with the people about what's going on. But I appreciate the kind words, though. All right, Mason Muller, think he's off. Appreciate him. Yeah, I did get a chance to see the president. I watched all of this nonsense, man. I mean, I've got destroyed brain cells because I want to stay up on what's going on. Appreciate the call, though. And I'm aware of it. Some people are suggesting, if you look at the poll numbers right now, it's not looking too good for Donald Trump. But I don't think people should fall asleep on that. It is what it is. Make your decision about who you think is the best. I think that the only reason why Kanye West is getting any kind of publicity after saying he wants to run for president is because of the overall dissatisfaction that we have with the quality of presidential candidates. Go back and look at that Democrat field. You had a few here and there. But for the most part, you go back and look at that Democrat field. You go back and look at the quality of the people that represent us across the board. And in a lot of cases, we're left with saying stuff like the lesser of two evils, right? The lesser of two evils. Nobody wants to hear that. Or, you got to hold your nose and vote. Voters, and in particular, black voters, deserve to be inspired. You really want to get somebody to the polls, you inspire them. You give them a reason to go to vote that they feel like they're really going to vote for something that's going to make a significant difference, rather than the lesser of two evils. That's what it's going to be for a lot of black folks in this presidential race. It's going to be they're going to vote for Biden because they perceive Biden as being the lesser of two evils. Now, if they had other choices, they wouldn't choose Biden. But it is what it is. And that's why Kanye West can get any kind of publicity, because of the overall lack of dissatisfaction with the quality of candidates. The other thing is that too many politicians they get in office, they talk all this good stuff, then they get in office and they change for the worse. And they start caring about getting a second term or third term, whatever the context may be. And that guides their decision. And they lose inspiration, right? They stop being inspiring because they're so self-involved, right? You know what I'm saying? We need people who don't care about second terms. They care about being effective in the one term that they have, even if that costs them a second term, right? That's what we need. We need people who don't care about being a second term whatever, because they care more about being effective for constituents in the first term. And if that costs them, then it costs them. But, maybe I'm asking for too much. What do you think? 513-873-7134. We got two calls on the line. Let's go straight to them. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Mr. Ivy. This is your West Side Connection, Drop Squad 52, calling in from the left coast, also known as the People's Republic of California. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. How you doing, sir?
Oh, I'm doing good. Mr. Ivy, I slept in this morning because there was nothing that drove me to get up at 5 a.m. this morning because of the news from Nathan Ivy over the weekend. So, did you come out okay? Obviously, you're on the air this morning. So,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, it wasn't my intention to be overnight in the hospital. I went there at a suggestion of my doctor. I was feeling some discomfort. They kept me because I was trying to get a test in, a stress test, and I don't know all the details. The technicians left before I could get it, something like that. So I stayed overnight as a precaution. Took the test on Friday. Everything's all good. I feel great. So it's a day-by-day process.
Good to hear. Great news, and I'll watch I'll listen to the first part of the show this morning on the replay when I'm out walking while retired. But when I turned the show on, Mr. Ivy, I was listening to a voice, one of your callers, and I could have swore it was Lenny, a.k.a. Mr. Cleophas, a.k.a. the Chop Shop Overseer. Was that Mason Mahler trying to tell a story?
That was Mason Mahler telling a story, yes.
Well, he needs to take some lessons in, I won't say that. Just stick to politics, Mr. Mahler, because you're a little bit better when it comes to politics on the phone. But Mr. Ivy, he brought up at the end of his call, Donald Trump this weekend at Mount Rushmore on Friday, and then at the White House celebrating 4th of July on Saturday.
Yeah.
And I loved it too. And I'm telling you, Mr. Ivy, that's not a good look for the Democrat Party.
Why not?
And then you add on top of that Kanye West coming out announcing that he may throw his hat in the ring. If that's the way I heard it, I didn't really do much research. I just heard that the Republican National Committee and Trump-Pence reelect, they're going to be out and about in America. And I think Trump's going to be in New Hampshire next week or this week for another rally, but it'll be outside at a hangar on an airport. So the Republican Party, they're going to get the American people out, and their voice is going to be heard, while the Democrats, they're going to be protesting in the streets, and their candidate is going to be giving teleprompter speeches. So that's what I saw going on this weekend, Mr. Ivy.
Well, can you explain something to me, Rob? Can you explain something to me, bro? Can you explain to me how one has anything to do with the other? How does what happened in Atlanta make the Democrat Party look bad? Could you explain that to me again?
Because gun control has been a major platform for the Democrat Party. And they have convinced over all these years that black people not exercise their Second Amendment rights legally. We all know about the illegal gunplay in the black community. I don't even have to get into that.
Okay.
But to see it done legally, and this group, because from what I saw, Mr. Ivy, they did not call themselves like the New Black Panther movement or anything like that. Because I haven't heard any reports specifically who they were, because the media doesn't want to show this part of black people exercising their rights. And that's what I mean by this is not a good look for the Democrat Party. Because when they talk about defunding the police, Mr. Ivy, and they're not protecting the citizens when these little autonomous zones pop up across the country in cities that are run by Democrats, I might add, when the American people see this, and these communities are occupied, or the residents of these communities are black people. And we already know black people got a problem with the police. 911's a joke in your town. So those images of young black men and women at that national park in Atlanta, Mr. Ivy, in Georgia, that's what I mean by the Democrat Party is starting to get nervous, Mr. Ivy. They don't have that lock, that hold on 80 to 90% of the black electorate anymore. And that's why I mentioned Kanye West, the unfortunate murders of young people in black communities, defunding the police, no police protection, police officers not doing their jobs, and black people saying enough is enough. We must protect ourselves. I don't care, Democrat Party. I don't want to hear about gun control, because I need these weapons to protect myself, my community, and my family. That's the way I see it, Mr. Ivy. Because okay. I didn't hear, there was not, I mean, I don't know if you talked about it in your show this morning, but there was not a lot of coverage as far as what these black people were doing in that park, bearing arms, exercising their Second Amendment rights. Did you see big time coverage on it? Nationally.
You're right. I agree. There could have been more coverage.
Right.
You're right.
Because there's always coverage when you see white people exercising their Second Amendment rights, always. But it's manipulated by the media because they want to make it look like white people are going to start roaming the streets and, you know, the whole Civil War thing, Mr. Ivy. And it's unfortunate that we have to deal with a mainstream media like we have in this country who has clearly chosen sides. And it's just ridiculous how they tried so hard. And this is not the first time in 2020 that the Democrat Party and their affiliates tried to destroy the 4th of July, Mr. Ivy. It's nothing new. I'm sure you're aware of that.
When did they try before?
They do it every 4th of July, Mr. Ivy.
Oh, do they?
When people
how do they do that?
Exercise their patriotism. Well, it's because, again, we know the history of this country. Okay, 4th of July is Independence Day. And we all know that everybody in this country does not celebrate 4th of July the same way.
Right.
Patriotism is different for every American.
True.
And that's what being an American is all about.
True.
You have the freedom to exercise your celebration or your patriotism however you want to do it.
Right.
But
oh, he must have hung up on himself. I'm not sure what happened. TNT writes, call me back, brother. I'll let you finish up if you feel inclined to do so. TNT writes, Black History Facts. On this day, July 6, 1919, white people riot in African-American neighborhood of Dublin, Georgia, and leave 2 people dead during nationwide violence, later known as Red Summer. You're right about that. You're right about that. That was 101 years ago. It was white people, Red Summer, called Red Summer because it was so much blood, black blood, that was spilt on the streets of this nation. And largely it was black folks who were the victims at the hand of white. Those are real mobs. People keep saying, oh, it's a mob. You know, when a couple people go to city council and ask for to defund the police or to reprioritize taxpayer funds. Okay. Oh, it's a mob. That's not a mob. A mob is what happened 101 years ago. And hundreds upon hundreds of black families, businesses destroyed, black babies killed, people lynched. You had soldiers had returned from the war that were lynched after putting their life on the line. That was a mob. It kills me when I hear people say that. Oh, it's a mob. It's a mob. David Mann said that. No, David, it's not a mob. It's just people who are not acting polite for the first time in a long time. Cincinnati's so used to everybody being polite and standing in their places. And when you do an interview, it's all super nice. And we're going to ask you softball questions. And when you say some dumbish, nobody's going to challenge you because we want to be friends. That's the problem. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Morning, Nathan. It's Kev on the cell. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, Kev. Good to hear your voice, man. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. It's good to be heard, especially in these times, right? It's today
Absolutely.
It's impressive just to be around. So, real quickly for the drop nonsense, I just got to come direct this time. It's a great thing that Kanye is in the race. The Conservative Party's going to split the vote. Heck yeah, that's fantastic. The people that would vote for Kanye likely weren't going to vote for President Biden anyway. And so, yeah, great thing. I mean, there are wonderful things happening in the world of politics. As far as the Biden thing is concerned, look, we've had this sophomoric rhetoric. I watched last night our commander-in-chief speak at length with someone on Channel 64, whatever, the guy that's in charge of Sinclair Broadcasting. And, you know, he asked him the easiest question to answer for anyone should be, what have you done? And the commander-in-chief pontificated for about 2 minutes, maybe. And I swear to you, literally, he did not mention one thing that he did. He kept talking, but I kept waiting for what I did. He had a whole bunch of generalizations about things that we could have done or we might do or there's more to do. A whole bunch of things. We brought jobs back. Well, no, you didn't. You know, the jobs were coming back and you were in the middle of it. You could take credit for it. I understand. But we need a statesman right now. I don't care what anybody says. I understand everybody's like, oh, you know, you old, blah, 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 you know. Oh, by the way, I want you to notice something, Nathan. The city passed legislation last week about putting on masks. Now, watch it be used the same way the crime bill was, disproportionately against our people. And then and everyone was clamoring for it, including the black community. People in the black community, oh man, we want masks. Yeah, you should mandate masks. Absolutely. Now, when people start getting arrested for it, they're going to come back and they're going to say, we didn't say that. We never said that we wanted people to be arrested for not wearing their masks. That's exactly what's going to happen. The same thing that happened with the crime bill. But we need an elder statesman. We need a person who will actually watch what they say.
Hey, Kev, let me just say this, though, man. There were some members of the city council who were concerned about that, so they kind of changed it. From what I understood, it's a $25 fine. And the way they worded it is so that the responsibility for enforcement will come from the health department. Now, I don't know if they've got that level of resources and manpower to actually enforce it. So it's almost as if it's toothless. It's like a toothless tiger on some levels, just to be sure. Because there were some people who were concerned about that. I was concerned about that as well. Because you know, if you put enforcement in the hands of Cincinnati police officers, I just feel like black folks are going to be overrepresented. But it's not in the case of the mask at this point. Just to clarify.
Yeah, but Karen and Ken are still going to call. And they're going to say, I saw this guy who doesn't have a mask on and blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
The police might not respond, but the ones that want to, they absolutely will. There's no question that the people who want to respond, they will respond. Well, why are you here? Oh, well, we got a call that, you know, that somebody wasn't following the law. That's just a hypothetical, and I know we shouldn't deal in hypotheticals, but you know, but it's still, the key is still the same. And like you said, there were some people that were concerned about that. Well, there was people that were concerned about the crime bill back in the day too. And I understood that. I also understood what people were saying, like, hey, you know, I remember this is a friend of mine was involved in some activities that made, well, an acquaintance, I guess now, since I ain't seen him in forever, but was involved in some questionable activities, right? And so the quote-unquote hidey-hidey-hoes went to his house to tell him that drug dealers got to go. And
right.
He sprayed him with the hose. It was a big deal. It was hilarious because he had two big dogs and a tiger. And he went and he sprayed the people that came, chanting in front of his house. The people chanting in front of his house were not white people. They absolutely were not. They weren't. They were black folks. It was in a neighborhood locally, and so the people weren't white folks that were standing in his driveway. And so we can have this revisionist history where we wrote this crime bill and it was disproportionately used against the black people, and that makes him a horrible person, which they have used in every election since the crime bill has been passed, by the way. But again, I'm going to tell you, we do need an elder statesman, a person who will think before they speak. Might even misspeak, but at least will say, I misspoke. We got right now folks that are just like, it is what it is. I'm going to say what I want to, and if you don't like it, oh well. And they, doesn't matter if you talk about the Pope. It doesn't matter if you're talking about, which he literally did. I'm not a Catholic, but man, to come out and blast the Pope and then be like, oh well, maybe I didn't read that correctly. Me and the Pope, we're great. We're great friends. We're great. You know what I'm saying? So it's really time out for the sophomore rhetoric across the board. I don't care if it's the left or the right or whatever. These are serious times. And, if nothing else, we got to have something where we start bringing people together. But Kanye for president, all you conservatives out there, vote Kanye or vote Trump. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Go and split that vote. For my Democratic friends that are out there, it seems that the country has chosen their candidate. Whether you like it or not, the person that likely will be backed by the party, at least for right now, is President Biden. And by the way, while you're talking about the couple of people that were at Mount Rushmore, there was 175,000 people on the call with Biden and President Obama. So with President Biden and President Obama. So you can keep trying to throw out these little myths and silliness and fairy tales, bro, but nobody really is catching what you're putting down. And for the folks that were in Atlanta, fantastic. The right to bear arms is a right for all citizens. I watched Hamilton this weekend. You should watch Hamilton drop. You need to watch Hamilton drop. Look for some real representation for yourself as a full partner in this country. You don't have to, and even for those who are not citizens, they have the right to bear arms. I keep my weapon in the house to keep me safe. And I tell anybody, I'm not carrying it outside because I don't start trouble. I try to stay away from trouble, and I don't carry it outside. But if you come into my domicile, if you come in and try to threaten my child, trust me, Democrat or Republican, I don't care who you are, you're gonna leave. You may walk in, but as the joke says, you're gonna limp out.
If you do that, I'm with you, brother.
You hear me?
If you do that, I feel you 100%.
And the goal is that you don't. But hey, man, look. Again, these are serious times, man. Nathan, man, I appreciate the platform, man, and there's a bunch of ageism going out there. There's a lot of racism going out there. There's so many isms out there, man, and it's all devised to split the country because, quite frankly, the party, not even the party, the person in power. I'm not even going to say the party in power. The person in power currently knows that the only way that he can win is to divide us. Point blank. Be blessed, bro.
Hey, be blessed. That's Kev on the cell, man. I appreciate the flows. Appreciate it. Yeah, you could be anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the World Wide Web, but you're here with me this morning, and I really appreciate it. Where we at? It was like 10:17. Let me check on time here. A little over two hours. That's okay on a Monday. It's a beautiful week. Whatever you're planning, you got another week to get it done. Okay? Winners focus on winning. Let me read through some comments here, and then I'll make a move. Let me see. Jack Frost writes, demons had their pistols hidden on them or near paint cans. Okay. KC writes, yes, sir, Nathan. What it is. What up, KC? He's down in Atlanta. I loved it, man. I saw nothing wrong. They were going through a Confederate park. Apparently, there had been some threats by the KKK, and they said that we're not going to cower in fear. We're gonna arm ourselves. We're gonna organize. That's what black folks should be doing on all levels. Nathan, who the hell gets CCW and doesn't get a weapon? Anthony, a lot of people do. A lot of people get to CCW and never get a weapon and never actually go all the way through with the process. I'm urging people to do it. Go through the whole process, purchase a firearm, all right? But if you get your CCW, then get yourself ready. Join us for some tactical training. So we go beyond what you're doing on the range. You know, what I like to do is get a group together so on a regular basis, we go out on the range and do tactical training. And the time is now, quite honestly, before it gets to the winter months. Okay, so I'm thinking late July, early August, we can at least get out there. Even September still might be warm enough so we can get out in the outdoor range and get proficient so you can make sure you hit your target. So if you have to go that route, and God forbid, of course, you never want to do that. This is for defensive purposes. But you've already practiced those scenarios so you can be as proficient as possible so you can go home. Simple as that. Mary writes, yup, go take tactical class at Black-owned company, ride or die. They are excellent. Yes, they are. You already know, Brother Forte. He's a chopper. You might be listening now. See, TNT writes, we celebrated what I call F 4th of July. Where is my reparations party? I like that idea. I like that idea. Look at that smile. I like that. Now, you know what? I think we're going to start doing that. And thank you again, TNT. Check them out. Tailor Made. You see that? See that? Let me see that. That might be too. There, Justice for George Floyd. Let me put it on right here. Boom. I had this on over at Whole Foods yesterday about 4 p.m. And, you know, the energy was a little different. I could tell. The energy was a little different. There it is. It's just that simple. Look at that. Tailor Made, baby. Yeah. Where's my Black Panther one at? She hooked me up. I appreciate it. Thanks. She hooked us up. I appreciate it. Tailor Made. Get your Tailor Made Black-owned face mask. Let me see. CTNT for more. Super dope. QC writes, second star athlete to change to HBCU recently. Hopefully a movement has started. That'd be great. It would be a paradigm shift in terms of college sports entertainment. And the power would go to HBCUs. I have no problem with it. I love it, actually. Let me see. Marlon writes, okay, they're talking about themselves. Jamarcus, what's up, Jamarcus? Good morning to you. Lynn writes, HBCUs will become multicultural. Everyone goes where the money is, blacks and whites. I'm just saying, very, very true. Sister V writes, Hotep, good to see you. Dante writes, do you have to wear a mask on the Metro bus? I believe so. Sunderland got on council when that Republican chick left to work for the Trump administration. Right, exactly. She was appointed by Alex Triantafilou. We'll see. I mean, look, I think everybody should get a chance. Republican, not Republican, black, white, whatever. Everybody can get a chance. Some of the votes so far, I'm not so sure. Maybe I'll reach out to Betsy Sunderland, see if she's willing to come on the show because she's going to be running for re-election. Hypothetically, maybe. Let me see. Ain't nobody going to call the health department. Can I see myself calling the health department because I don't see people with a mask on? I don't see it. I'm just be honest with you. I don't see myself calling the health department on anybody for something like that. But Lynn writes, I think the health department is a good option. The health department regulates a number of similar things. You know, I want the health department to regulate these restaurants. We got too many violations, health violations with the restaurants here locally. That's what I want them to do. Okay, does this fall in line with them? I mean, it kind of does. But they don't have enough inspectors to inspect the restaurants. let alone now you want to inspect and run out on calls because somebody called you. And then by the time they get there, the people are gone. We need Shot Spider for people who don't wear a mask. Somebody should develop that technology. Or maybe not. Maybe we shouldn't, actually. Alicia writes, Karen and Ken will. I hope to publicize the mass ticketing status. Like always, black communities and people will be over penalized. Why not just give out masks? That's a more appropriate response from the health department. You know what? I agree with you 100%. You're right. Why don't the health department go into the mask giving out business? You know, set up locations at the grocery stores giving out masks. Aren't they already kind of doing that? Somebody's doing it because I've seen it before. So, I mean, the whole mask thing seems like a toothless tiger. But I will say this. If COVID-19 deaths and also infections go up dramatically, oh, you're going to see some teeth. You're going to see some teeth. You're going to see some teeth. Like, it can get worse. Like, you could see a scenario where everybody's at home again, being enforced by law. Like with Sean Davis. That could happen. That's on the horizon. That's an option. Albeit an option nobody really wants, but that's an option to the politicians and the government officials. They just don't want to use it. But let things get worse. You'll see what happens. It is not a game out here. Scott Dean writes, so the health department isn't looking to be punitive, so I would imagine there will be more warnings, education, and possible distribution of masks before a citation ended up being issued. You probably have to be a repeat offender to be excited. I agree as well. I mean, or it depends on the attitude of whoever the person is, right? Lynn writes, it will be like getting a parking ticket. The heavy lift in the beginning must come from enforcement with business. You can't come in without a mask, then the public will decide. Fame's in the house. He writes, replying to Daryl. Oh, okay. Talking about themselves. My sister was praying for him, and I told people whatever she prayed will happen, technical or not. That is his job. Yes, we paid his child support. Wow. Damn. Hey, the child support. Talking about Victor Cousins. I mean, you got it like that, I guess so. April writes, woo, when they call him in the grocery store with the person trying to tell their life story in 2 minutes, and you just got to go. That's funny. Brian writes, F these candidates, and I'm not down with Biden. But yes, he's running for the Trump administration to suck away the 4 to 8% percentage points needed to strengthen Trump's position. Does anybody else see this? As always, I could be wrong. Appreciate the opinion. Appreciate it. Mary writes, glad you're okay, Nathan. Glad to be okay. I just want to serve as an example to my listeners and beyond. Take care of yourself. I thought I was taking care of myself, but there's levels to it. And I heard the brother Glenn say, you know, he's stopping red meat. I mean, not all meat is the same. You know what I'm saying? In general, I'm more plant-based now. I would say I'm 90 to 95% plant-based. But even in that, when I do eat meat, I eat the best meat that's available. The best meat that's commercially available. The best eggs that's commercially available. Because you don't want stressed out meat, chicken, turkeys that's living in the dark, standing in its own feces, eating it. You don't want all that. Get the very best. Now, is it going to cost you more? Yeah. But in my opinion, it'll cost you less in the long run in terms of going to the hospital, having health conditions, being on medicines, all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of options out there, put it that way. All right, so I got to make a move this morning. I really appreciate you. I'm glad to be back. I don't want to go anywhere. I plan on being with you the entire week. All right, have an excellent rest of your day. We'll be together again tomorrow morning, bright and early. I got a couple of guests lined up this week. We're going to talk with Charmaine McGuffey, who's running for Hamilton County Sheriff. We'll talk with her. We'll catch up with Dave Zirin, who's an author, speaker, talks about the intersection of sports and politics. We'll talk about the NBA, the politics of it, and also what's happening with some of these athletes and what could happen. Dave knows a lot of folks. He might have some great insight. And I got a couple of other interviews set up as well, but nothing confirmed. So stick around. Watch this channel. Please like and share today's show. I'll be back with you bright and early tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. hopefully better than ever, and we'll chop it up on everything going on. Remember our motto: winners focus on winning. Losers focus on winners. So stay focused and stay winning, and we'll talk real soon. I'm out. Nando?
This is Zoe Wesson. What side of history do you want to be on? The right side, or one where black people continue to be underrepresented in Hamilton County? Now's your chance to end 230 years of exclusion. In Charlie Winburn, we have a man that's received the Cincinnati NAACP President's Award, who fought on the Ohio Civil Rights Commission for 6 years, who received the Baptist Ministers Conference Community Service Award. Charlie Winburn has received the Southern Christian Leadership Conference Award and was honored by WDBZ The Buzz as Pastor of the Month. We know Charlie Winburn, and he knows us. He's the right man to put us on the right side of history. On Tuesday, November 3rd, vote for Charlie Winburn for Hamilton County Treasurer.
I am Charlie Winburn, and I'm asking you for your vote on Tuesday, November the 3rd, paid for by friends of Charlie Winburn. I'm Charlie Winburn with Renew Community Church. It seems like the coronavirus came from nowhere. I have some good news that if you never quit and don't give up, out of nowhere, the way will be made for you and your family. Take your life back. Join Renew Community Church each Sunday, 11:45 a.m. on Facebook Live, facebook.com/CincyRenew. Rewrite your life while at home. Join Renew Community Church for the 12-week Rewrite.me series each Sunday on Facebook Live. Renew your life at home. Go to SundayConnectCircle.org for a free 12-week, 200-page PDF. Take your power back. Rewrite your life. Join Renew Community Church each Sunday at 11:45 a.m. on Facebook Live, facebook.com/CINCI-Renew. I am Charlie Winburn, and remember, out of nowhere, the way will be made for you and your family.